Isn't it funny how things in cryptocurrency can change in the blink of an eye? 1 month, Elon Musk is the savior of Bitcoin, crypto, and the markets. Then the next month, he is hated by all. People can't stand him for manipulating the markets. Well, if you haven't noticed anything about us, our opinion of him hasn't changed, because there is always more to what he is doing than meets the eye. So are you ready to look into the eye of the Musk? Well, you don't have a choice, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Yeah, Elon was the savior of the markets in February of this year, when it was announced his company Tesla had invested $1.5 billion in the asset Bitcoin. How many BTC did Tesla buy? Tesla's Q1 earnings released in April revealed a lot about how the company navigated these markets. Using estimations from their buys, Tesla at its peak of holdings held some 46,800 Bitcoins, which were purchased for an average price of around $32,000 each. Although that April Q1 earnings release also showed that Tesla had sold some of their BTC. They had proceeds from sales of digital assets that equaled $272 million. It's estimated Tesla sold 10% of their BTC stack, taking their total holdings to about 42,100 BTC. The sale of BTC by Tesla was when the public started to turn on Elon. But then in mid-May, May 12th to be exact, Musk shocked the markets by tweeting Tesla would no longer be accepting the asset as payment for its vehicles. He clarified no selling of their current BTC holdings, and they would be using it for transactions again once BTC mining is sustainable, and they were looking at other cryptocurrencies. What did this do? Immediate dip on BTC after the tweet. The markets did not like this one bit, and we tumbled and tumbled some more. And because of this, the entire markets have turned on poor old Elon. Pretty much everyone hates him now. For example, Peter McCormack, well-known Bitcoin maxi and influencer in the space, March 24th, before Elon started selling and what they call FUDDing, Peter loved Elon, tweeting Elon Musk just signaled to every other CEO that he has more faith in Bitcoin than the USD. This is not the time to be selling Bitcoin, hodl on. Well, ain't this interesting? Peter was just on a podcast last Friday. Let's hear his thoughts now about Elon.
I'm annoyed at the influence of Elon Musk because he's damaging my wealth when he tweets irresponsibly or tweets bullshit. He's damaging my wealth, and not that I expect the market to go up only. I want the market to naturally do what it does, but I certainly don't want the influence of some egotistical, loose cannon, fourth richest guy in the world just tweeting bullshit and it affect him. What is my hard-earned money.
So Peter thinks it's okay for Elon to tweet if it's good news. Peter loves that, like Musk signaling to other CEOs, buy BTC, but not if it's bad news and the reality of what is going on. Many top influencers in the space, they have no spine. They think about one thing and one thing only. The money they either accumulate or lose, and they will turn on people just because of that fact. What those surface level influencers don't realize is there's a much bigger plan in motion. Elon isn't no dummy. He knew about Bitcoin and its proof of work algorithm that takes an ever increasing amount of energy to create new BTC. He actually explained this in February of 2019 when he was on the ARK Invest podcast with Cathie Wood before his company Tesla got involved with BTC.
Given your history in the payments ecosystem, it would be very interesting to know if you agree with Jack and there is going to be one native cryptocurrency when it comes to the internet. He thinks it's Bitcoin.
It's interesting. I have some friends of mine that are kind of really involved in crypto. I mean, I think like the Bitcoin structure was quite brilliant. Yeah, it seems like there's some merit to Ethereum as well, and maybe some of the others. But, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it would be a good use of Tesla resources to get involved in crypto. I mean, we're really just trying to accelerate the advent of sustainable energy. And I mean, I think actually one of the downsides of crypto is that computationally, it's like quite energy intensive. So like there had to be some kind of constraint on the creation of crypto. So but it's very energy intensive to create like the incremental Bitcoin at this point.
He knew about it and he understood it fully. He said Tesla's goal is the adoption of sustainable energy, and it probably wasn't a good idea for Tesla to get involved. But they did, which means he has a freaking plan for it. What is that plan? Well, if you didn't know, the same day Elon tweeted that Tesla was no longer accepting BTC due to the environmental concerns, news leaked from Reuters that Tesla was seeking entry into the US renewable fuel credit market, a renewable credit market that they haven't been allowed to participate in. Why is this important? Well, if you didn't know, there were a couple of reasons Tesla was profitable in the first quarter of 2021, and it wasn't because of their cars. This article titled, "Tesla Made More Money Selling Credits in Bitcoin Than Cars," explains it well. The article states, Tesla recorded another profitable quarter in the first 3 months of 2021, even with 2 of its models on the sidelines, posting a net income of $438 million while recording $10.4 billion in revenue. This profit didn't materialize thanks to car sales, however, which is ostensibly the main business of an automaker. Rather, Tesla has 2 main items to thank for posting a profitable quarter: sales of emission credits called RECs to other automakers, and sales of its Bitcoin holdings. And here's a thing coming for Tesla. This year, the other automakers are going to meet their sustainable goals. Sales of those RECs to the other automakers is going to dry up. What is Tesla to do? Well, that is why they're looking to get into the renewable fuel credit market. REC profit is drying up. Let's get into the other one and start selling RINs to the fuel industry. Tesla not accepting BTC anymore? That was done to appease the regulators who would be approving their application. Environmental regulators in the United States are not too fond of BTC right now. Need some proof of this? Well, the largest and most powerful regulator, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, who Elon wants to decide for the application, might just be getting involved with a Bitcoin mining battle in upstate New York. The company, as we can see from the article, Green Ridge Generation. Now, when Elon decided to tweet bad about Bitcoin May 12th, Michael Saylor jumped in and explained Bitcoin is getting more efficient as it scales. What is the first article Elon references in rebuttal to Saylor? The Green Ridge battle in upstate New York. Obviously, this was done to appease the EPA and get his application through. Elon's company Tesla, to survive into the future, has to play the game. If they didn't make that move, their application would have been denied by the regulators. No doubt about it in my mind. But go back to his tweet about them not accepting once again. What did he say? They aren't selling their holdings and they plan to use it again for transactions once it's sustainable. So don't you find it so ironic Elon and Michael Saylor were fighting with each other over Bitcoin's energy usage on May 12th on Twitter? Then less than 2 weeks later, May 24th, Elon Musk and Michael Saylor are back as Bitcoin buds, friends, and are helping to create the Bitcoin Mining Council, whose goal is to promote energy usage transparency and accelerate sustainability initiatives within the BTC mining industry. Now, as we can see from Saylor's tweet about the BMC, one of the North American Bitcoin miners on the council is Marathon Digital Holdings. Fred Thiel, CEO of Marathon, was interviewed last week about the call with Musk. Here's what Fred said about what Elon could do to help the industry. Thiel said, "Well, Solar City is part of Tesla. Solar power generation is something that is a technology they have. Tesla has huge experience in utility-scaled battery storage, which is critical to the industry. So I think he clearly has access to technologies that would be helpful, and I think that the industry would love to work with him to try to bring those technologies to greater use, especially for Bitcoin mining." And then there's this, Anthony Scaramucci, a well-known American financier and entrepreneur. He basically shares my same thoughts. He tweeted May 13th, the day after Elon nixed BTC from Tesla, this: Elon is not a half measures guy. I predict he will become a competitor disruptor in the Bitcoin mining industry. I wager 500k sats that within a year, Tesla or Solar City will announce its entry into super clean Bitcoin mining. And Scaramucci seems to have some insider knowledge about old Elon. He tweeted this March 31st of this year. Elon Musk didn't stop with Tesla. I understand that SpaceX owns Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Elon Musk owns over $5 billion in Bitcoin via Tesla, SpaceX, and personally. No living person has done more to protect the planet against climate change. Idea that Elon Musk would invest in a dirty asset is absurd. Future of Bitcoin mining is renewable energy. Elon Musk sees the future. Number 1, renewables replace fossil fuels. Number 2, Bitcoin demonetizes gold, real estate, equities, and art, and becomes the dominant store of value. Is all I have to say. How does Anthony have that insider knowledge? So my friends, I've been saying this for a long time. Tesla has a plan, and I think the next version of the Tesla Powerwalls will not house a Bitcoin miner or GPU within itself, but it will have a modular add-on ability to add an ASIC BTC miner or GPUs for mining other cryptocurrencies like Doge. Plus, there was this news January of 2021. Tesla unveiled a new design for the Model S and the Model X, which would include a 10 teraflop gaming unit powered by a state-of-the-art GPU. And yeah, the GPU is just as powerful as some of the new gaming systems out there today. But how many Tesla owners are gamers? Not many. This isn't for gaming. This was to turn your car into a crypto miner. So my friends, like I said, there is more to Elon than meets the eye, and somehow this connects to his love for Dogecoin and the satellite launched Doge 1, which has to do with lunar payloads and the moon. Don't you think it's sus that Elon tweeted this after the announcement of the moon mission? Someone suggested changing Dogecoin fees based on the phases of the moon, which is pretty awesome, haha. The moon and Doge once again. So I'm going to try and figure this all out, all the connections, and make them clear. Will it happen this week? Maybe. Next week? Maybe. You will know when it happens. Cheers. I'll see you next time.